Hey everybody, it's Travis speaking. If you've been following along or you watched the last video, you'll have noticed that we created some columns and we created some grid lines as well. I'm just going to come back over here to level 1 where we left off, and as you can see I've got these 3 columns in here. I'm not going to need these for the time being, so I'm just going to select them all, but I am going to leave that grid line in there for the time being. And if we go back to our elevations, you can see that we've got some levels set up here. I'm just going to quickly clean these up and get the annotations turned off here. And what I wanted to go over for this video was how we can use a DWG to set these levels up. Sometimes you'll start off a project where you'll already have some existing information and you'll need to create a BIM model, so there's no point in redesigning the wheel when you can go back to that CAD file and use that. So as you can see here, I've got some levels set up. They're not set up exactly how I need them. What I'm going to do is bring in this DWG that I have here. As you can see, I've got some elevations and some floor plans and a couple sections over here as well. So what I'm going to use is this sectional data to create my levels, or to adjust the levels that I already have created. So let's get started on that. So I'll come back over to Revit, and what I'm going to do is come up to the Insert tab at the top, and what I want to do is hit this Link CAD button. So when I hit Link CAD, it takes me to my project folder where I have the McKay Residence DWG selected. And you'll notice that there is a option in here for Orient to View. So this is important if you're going to be linking and using this in multiple views, because this is a live link to your DWG. So just to illustrate that, what I want to do is come back to AutoCAD and show you with the view cube that right now I'm looking at these drawings as though they're laid out on the ground below me, and I've got my view cube here saying top. If I come over here to Revit, this view that I'm in is actually one of the sides of the view cube. So by clicking on Orient to View, what it's doing is it's taking that DWG and it's rotating it 90 degrees in one axis so I can see it in elevation. So you have some other options here for colors. You can do it black and white, or you can invert the colors. I just say preserve. The layers, you can choose to specify certain layers from your DWG, so you can explore those. I'm going to use the auto detect and have this bring it in at feet and inches. You can specify if you want, if you've got another unit, or if you have mixed units in your DWG. And then for positioning, you have some options here as well. You can use a manual center or base point, or you can use a common origin. This might be important if you're using multiple DWGs in multiple disciplines. You might want to coordinate an origin point. But I'm going to leave this as auto center to center because I'm going to be repositioning this anyway. So with that said, I've got all these options. I've reviewed them. I like how this is going to look, so I'm going to say open, and we should get a DWG in here. Now I'm getting a warning saying, Travis, your hatches aren't going to be showing. That's fine. I'm not really too concerned. So I'll just hit X for that, and now you can see I've got this DWG here, and it's all one object. So if I drag that around, I can use that, I can position that accordingly to set up my my datums. Okay, so I've got this roughly set up the way I want. So let's take a look at some of the tools that I can use. I'm going to make sure that this is static. So I want this DWG position for the time being to stay here, to stay put. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the DWG, and I'm going to come up here in the Modify panel and hit Pin. What this does is it grounds it in position. And now essentially if I click on the DWG, I select it, and I drag by accident, it's not going to move it out of position. So now I can come in here to my levels, and I can place these accordingly. Okay, so you might want to find a level and go from there. So the first one would probably be this one here at the main floor. So you would come to your modify tools now and hit align, and then just choose the line that you want it to be on. So I'm going to come to the subfloor and then select that grid line, and now you can see that it's modified that height. So I've kind of gone at this a little bit backwards. Maybe what I should have done is select my DWG, I'll unpin it for the time being, and then place this at a certain level. So let's place that at 0, 0 instead. We can take the DWG and use the move tool. We'll find that point on the line, and let's just bring that down to our 0, 0. And now we'll come back to the DWG and we'll pin it there. So that makes a little bit more sense. So I've got level 1, and I'll rename that main floor. Ask me, do I want to rename the corresponding view? Yes. And now I can simply do the same thing as I did before with my align tool, and then just line these levels up accordingly. So I said top plate, I believe, for the last one. I'll locate that top plate and then find my level. And I've got a couple other levels here that I probably don't need, so I'll delete one of them. It takes away the view as well in the project browser. And I'm just going to bring this one. This is going to be to the top of this ridge beam. So I'm just going to select that level and bring it down, line that up. And then what I would do is come in here now and modify the names, essentially. I'm going to change the name to top of ridge. And I'm going to get this information is going to be a little bit better here in my my project browser. It's going to tell me exactly what I need to know. Something I didn't cover was in here I've got this elbow from the last video. I don't need that now, it's moved, so I'm just going to drag that elbow, the two nodes for it until it's straight, and then the elbow collapses. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and modify these labels appropriately. And then in the next video, what we'll do is we'll take a look at setting up some walls and getting the walls created. But just one more thing to go back to. If I come back over here to my Insert tab and I go to Manage Links, I'll get this dialog box that gives me a couple categories. I've got Revit links, CAD formats, DWF, and point clouds. And as you can see now, I've got this live link to the McKay Residence DWG. If I come back over here to AutoCAD and I make a modification to this and save this, what I would do is then come back in here and I would reload it. And then my live link will reflect what I'm seeing in my Revit file. So that's some a quick overview of linking DWGs and other file types. We'll keep going with this, and so if you have any questions or comments, please feel free, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Bye now.